This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. All right, so Browns fans are amazing, and I think this week proved it. And this is a week where Browns fans have been put through the ringer, kind of, by a lot of people nationally and locally because of the reaction to Deshaun Watson's injury. And look, we're not going to act like the reaction to Deshaun Watson's injury was what was desired, but also it wasn't the mass booing while he was on the cart that some people made it out to be. Like, there was mainly cheering once he got to the cart and people realized the seriousness of this injury. But I'm not really here to rehash that whole thing. I want to talk about how the fan base responded and how the fan base has reacted, and why it proves that Browns fans are just amazing. First and foremost, there is something I do want to get off my chest that did bug me this last week about how people talked about Browns fans and how Browns fans were kind of demonized this week. And it is something that bugs me, and it's because it feels like Browns fans always get demonized for being passionate fans, right? When Philadelphia boos Santa Claus, when Philadelphia boos their starting quarterback who just won them a Super Bowl, when Philadelphia does those things, oh, it's just Philly being Philly. When Boston does those things, it's just Boston being Boston. When New York boos Zach Wilson for 3 hours straight, it's just New York being New York. But boy, if Cleveland does something that's not the normal of what people expect from a sports fan base in the Midwest, people lose their minds. It's like we're not allowed to be passionate, but everybody else is. Like, it's like Cleveland's not a big enough city to be allowed to express themselves in the honest way that other fan bases are allowed to express themselves, because these things, they don't get as much play, they don't get as much finger wagging as when the Browns do them. It's like the Browns do it, oh my God, those fans are awful, or they're ruining the reputation of Browns fans, when the truth is Browns fans have been this passionate since day one. And here's the thing about passion that I don't think people really understand. Passion is a two-way street. If we're passionate about the team enough to show up for this team for 20 years when they're not good, well, we're going to be passionate about the team winning. We're going to be passionate about the team losing. Browns fans are passionate, and I'm tired of people talking about that passion as if it's not a two-way street. So yeah, they're passionate. They're going to show up when you're 2-6 and cheer like it's the Super Bowl when you beat the Ravens. But also, we're passionate, and we're going to boo the team if they're not playing well, because we want them to play better. This is something we understand with every other city that does it, with every other passionate fan base out there, right? The Browns are in this tricky place because the team is in Ohio, but the Browns are Cleveland. And Cleveland is more of an East Coast kind of vibe than Ohio is, right? Ohio's Midwest, but Cleveland, anybody who's lived in Cleveland for an extended period of time, anybody who's grew up in Cleveland like I did, you know, it's a bit more like an East Coast city. It's a bit angrier than the rest of Ohio, for better or worse. I like it, but I'm so tired of people like acting like we're doing something that's unbecoming of a passionate fan base whenever this fan base shows passion, and it's not exactly how people want that passion to be expressed. We understand this with New York. We understand this with Boston. We understand this with Chicago. We understand this with Philadelphia. Why is it so hard to comprehend this with the Cleveland Browns? That's my first thing that I wanted to get off my chest about the response to this. It's like every other fan base is allowed to be passionate, but boy, let it be from a middle-sized market or a small market team, right? And I guess Cleveland's technically a small market team. Let it be from a small market fan base this vitriol comes from, and everybody's got something to say. This happened with even the Cavs back in the day, where, Cavs fans were very hostile to LeBron when he was in Miami. But New York is hostile to a lot of people. Nobody really reacted in the, oh my God, clutch my pearls way that people did when the Cavs did it, or Cleveland fans did it. It's like when a small market team does it, people like the pearl clutch about it. But let New York do it. It's not a problem. Let Philadelphia do it. It's not a problem. It's only a problem when the small market fan base decides to boo somebody or be passionate or express their passion in something that's not absolute, unabridged positivity. It's a very interesting habit that people in media have. Even the people who work in local media have. It's like they kind of buy into the myth that, oh, we shouldn't do that. We're a small market team. We're not like that. But it's like, not Cleveland, as much as people want to clown on Cleveland for being not New York, but Cleveland fans and New York fans, they got more in common than they have in different. They're just as passionate. Philadelphia fans, Cleveland fans, it's a similar environment. I don't know why this continues to catch people off guard. You can't say, oh, these Browns fans are passionate and think that it's only positive passion. Passion is a two-way street. If we're going to cheer you because you are great, we're going to boo you because you stink. That is passion, right? If you don't want passion, if you don't want fans who ever boo you or care enough to boo you, there are plenty of fan bases you could play at in pro sports that don't give a damn. But if you want passion, then this is what passion gets you. And if you ain't living up to the standard, they're going to boo you. I have no problem with that. I really don't have a problem with that. Because this fan base has never booed a team that didn't deserve it. That's another thing. When did they boo the team a lot? They booed the team in 2021 a lot. Did that team not deserve it? They booed the team in 2019 a lot. Did that team not deserve it? They booed the team in 2024 at the beginning a lot. Did that team not deserve it? Were those teams not underperforming to a point to where it was expected that the team get booed? We didn't boo the 0-16 teams that much because we knew they stunk. We weren't even disappointed. We only boo when you disappoint. That's what it is. That's what it is. But it's it gets demonized when Cleveland does it. And I think it has to do with them being a small market and people not understanding the dynamics of what goes down in the city of Cleveland, how we interact with these things and why we love the Browns. But anyways, I digress. That's not supposed to be the whole video. The reason I love Browns fans is that passion. Because did you notice how full that stadium was on Sunday? How loud that stadium was on Sunday? How much support was out there for Jim Donovan on Sunday? See, people can wag their finger at Cleveland fans all they want, but nobody shows up like Browns fans. Nobody shows up like Browns fans. And you know what? For all the flack that I give some Browns fans sometimes for falling a bit into negative patterns a bit too easily and all of this, guess what, man? You win one game, you get this team, you give an exciting product on the field one time for this football team. This fan base will immediately shed all reservations and get behind you. That's what I love about Browns fans, is that for better or worse, Browns fans are passionate. And yes, sometimes that passion gets a little messy. But I'd rather root for a team that cares than be a part of a fan base that's apathetic. And that lack of apathy is why Browns fans are the best. Think about it like this, man. Jim Donovan, our play-by-play commentator, he passes away. And for millions of Browns fans, it wasn't just the feeling of a play-by-play commentator passing away or somebody that they like passing away, it felt like the city was collectively grieving a family member. Because for years, for 16 to 17 Sundays a week, Jim Donovan was there, giving us memories, part of the family. So when he passes away, it's not just the passing of a sports figure in town. It's the passing of a legend. It's the passing of somebody who's been in a lot of our lives for over 10, 20 years. And I just love how the Browns responded to that, how the fans responded to that they didn't let any of the ugliness from last week seep in to this week. You know, it would have been real easy for fans to carry the grudge and decide that they're just going to boo this team no matter what, because they were upset at the response that the players got, and they fed into these things that, you know, these Browns fans are very sensitive to, especially with how the fan base gets perceived nationally. It would have been very easy for it to be a hostile environment. But it wasn't. It was a welcoming environment, at least for the Browns. It was not welcoming for the Baltimore Ravens. It was an environment where the best things about the Browns fan base was on display. Their passion, their volume, their excitement, and their intellect. To know that Jim Donovan was more than just a play-by-play commentator for them. And then I love that the team gave the game ball to the Donovan family, that Kevin made a point of letting people know that they're playing this game for Jim. From the people who have been here from 2014, like Joe Bitonio, to the people who just got here, like Jameis Winston, everybody up and down that roster understood the importance of that man and the importance of winning that game to get that game ball to Jim Donovan. And I know some Raven fans might come in here and say, oh, well, this is your Super Bowl. They're not going to play a more meaningful game this season, more than likely, than playing a game that honors a legend of that caliber. Maybe they get into the playoffs, but still, getting that game ball to Jim Donovan, hell yeah, that's our Super Bowl. And I'm proud of that because this city is passionate. This fan base is passionate. And I'm tired of them being shamed for that passion when people don't think that that passion is playing out in the exact perfect way. Passion is beautiful. Passion is crying. Passion is cheering. Passion is booing. Passion is anger. But Browns fans are passionate. That's why I love them. That's why I love being a Browns fan. Y'all have a great day. Have a better night. Peace.